Clennon. I'm the editor of Rip It Up magazine. We cater for a demographic predominantly for 18 to 35-year-olds. We cover music, movies, DVD releases, CD releases, live events, and just try and get the word out there about various things happening around town and the stuff that we think our readers would be into.
7, which isn't even out, it's out today. Cabaret Fest, the mag's out today. This is the layout from that, so they're already gone to print. I am the advertising manager or senior advertising sales executive for Rip It Up Publishing. Rip It Up really started as a geek guide. The geek guide, I suppose, is the core of the magazine, and everything has grown from there. It's become an entertainment magazine from the geek guide out.
As soon as we finish and finalise the magazine on a Tuesday afternoon when it goes to print, I'll instantly look at what's coming up the week after and send out an email to the staff here about what's coming up. That way we can align with the graphics department and the advertising department and work towards what will be best to cover in the next week's issue. When it gets to the start of the week, Mondays and Tuesdays, I spend a lot of the time proofing the magazine, both on the screen on the computer as well as on the page, just to iron out the last mistakes and to try and pick them all up before we go to print.
Wednesdays when we start working on the next week's issue. All the ads are booked into the system, into the booking system, and then Scott works out which articles need to run, and he sends me an email. I've got a print out of all the ads, I've got a print out of all the articles, and we just fill in everything into a layout. And that layout is done on a Wednesday/Thursday.
The days are varied, and I try and break it up a bit. If I'm getting sick of writing one city review, I might go and transcribe an interview, things like that. Rip It Up and Onion, we're both completely funded by advertising. The more advertising we have, the more editorial space we have, so the bigger the magazine we'll be able to print. So it's all up to advertising, and it's that department that does all the wheeling and dealing there.
Rip It Up being a free publication, it relies on advertising for everything, for its revenue, for paying for the upkeep of where we are, for the everything. Basically, we get no grants, we get no money from anywhere else except advertising. Basically, we have requests. Some people pay a loading to be like on page 2 or page 3. This booking has come through, and they're definitely on page 2. Back cover obviously is really popular. Blues Uncharted have got a big campaign at the moment, so they booked all the back covers.
Back in the day, you'd have to get sent actual physical pictures and cut around like photos and stick in ads onto an actual piece of physical paper and then get it printed from there, whereas now it's all on the computer. Before I even get to work, I'm already thinking about the stuff I need to do for the day. I often go for a run in the morning and think about who I need to interview or what stories I need to source from different states and things. The biggest excitement for me, you never know who you might get an opportunity to talk to the next week. Last time Muse were in town, I went to the hotel and talked to them because they had a DVD coming out in a few months' time. So yeah, we just went over to the Hotel Hilton over there, had a chat to them, and yeah, so it's good to sit down and talk to bands in person because you can get a lot of different perspectives. In terms of my favourites, I mean, my favourites might vary or differ from other people. Some people might say, oh wow, you've interviewed Pete Murray, or oh wow, you've talked to the Foo Fighters, but personally they're not as big to me as talking to Tori Amos or Eels, Nine Inch Nails, or some of the UK bands like Kasabian or Kaiser Chiefs. I mean, one day you might be talking to a poet, and the next day you'll talk to a movie star, and the next day you'll talk to some local artist, and the next day you'll talk to some big US pop act. The graphics department put up the websites. Predominantly, we don't put the whole thing up online, simply because we want people to pick up the magazine as well.
We're currently entertaining the idea of doing a blog, which is something which we'll have to invest in it. But we're aware, obviously, that youth these days are not just going to pick up a magazine. They're very much online, and we need to keep up with that.
I think there'll always be a place in Adelaide and the surrounding areas for an entertainment publication like us. We're so accessible, I guess. So just a matter of moving forward from here.
Yeah.